Hey guys, I wanted to just welcome you to my channel and say, hey, thank you for stopping by. Today's video is going to be incredibly fun and I have been working on it for a couple of weeks. I'm actually hopping on here several weeks after filming this because I never filmed an intro and that was on my part. So I've been editing it for a while and realized that I needed to do an introduction so you guys actually know what this video is about. So in today's video, I'm going to be comparing 3 different viral face primers that have just gone crazy on the internet from TikTok or YouTube, majority TikTok, and the 3 that I really wanted to compare and put to the test in this video are the e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer, the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer, and the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Hydrating Primer. These 3 primers are all supposed to do very similar things, and I wanted to put them to the test and really see which one is truly the best and worth your money and which one does what it's supposed to do. I think that there's a lot of different news and like social media outlets that are, sharing, a lot of different opinions on these products, but I'm not sure all of them have put all 3 against each other into the test with the same products so that you can really get an idea of which one is performing the best out of the 3. I hope you guys enjoy this video and I really think it'll be beneficial for you to figure out which one you should really try to chase down and get because these things sell out crazily and super fast. So I just wanted to give something that would be beneficial for you guys and something that I wish I would have had when I was trying to buy these primers. So without further ado, let's get right into this video and I'll talk to you soon. Hey guys, so I'm coming at you with the first of the 3 viral primers that I will be trying out in this little video that I decided to do. I think it's such a great idea. And the first one I'm going to go in with is the e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. It was so hard to get my hands on this one ever since Michaela made it go viral on TikTok, and I have been wanting to try it. So this is the first out of the 3 that I am going to do, and then the other 2 I technically have tried before, so I kind of know how they perform, but I wanted to see how they each hold up with the same foundation, the same circumstances, and then we can really tell you which one is worth the money. So my face is clean. I did my serums, my skincare this morning. So of course this one comes with a pump. The other 2 that I have do not. I'm not sure if the normal e.l.f. Jelly Primer does. I have a little mini version of that because I was still not able to find the full size version and I still am not able to find it. But I like that this one comes with a pump. It's much easier to determine how much you need because it kind of predetermines it for you. One thing I don't like though is that there's no locking mechanism here. So you don't really know if you can ever lock it closed. But I like the color of the packaging. Not that the packaging really matters, it's about the product inside, but just wanted to add that. And I'm going to do one, if I can get it to start, one pump. There we go. It's a kind of green. It has a little bit of a minty smell to it and it's definitely sticky. This is way stickier than the jelly primer to me. Way stickier. So that's a good sign. Stickiness means it's going to grip onto that foundation. So I am going to put on a foundation and I'm going to go in with my favorite foundation as of right now. This is a long wear foundation, but even with everything, long wear doesn't always necessarily mean long wear unless you can really prep the skin properly and it works for you in the best way possible. So I'm going to go into the Lancome Tint Ultra Wear foundation. Mine is in the shade 215 Buff N. So obviously a neutral base. I do 2 pumps of this onto my hand. I'm using a beauty sponge to apply and we're going to see how it really grips onto the foundation, if there's any dry patches, because this foundation wears beautifully on me, so if there's something different with how it wears on my skin, I'll know that it's the primer. I'm just doing a very light layer of foundation. So it doesn't look like there is any dry patches that it's grabbing onto. It still looks just like my skin, which is always what I go for. I'm gonna put a little bit of concealer on. I'm using the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. Okay, so all of my cream products blended beautifully. I'm going to finish up the rest of my face and then I'll give you my first thoughts right when I am done with all my makeup before I have my meeting. Okay, so I am back. The rest of my makeup is on. Everything went on beautifully, just as I would expect in any foundation. I do just want to mention before I start my wear test that I'm not using a setting spray, because when I use, like, this is my favorite setting spray, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This is like literally like hairspray for your face. It just, your stuff will not budge. So I want to see how this truly wears all on its own without any additional help from like a setting spray or something that would prolong the wear of the makeup. But yeah, so I'm planning on wearing this kind of same makeup for the next 3 days, so you really get the same view and same idea just across the board, depending on how the foundation is wearing, not like anything else that's super distracting. But so far, my first impressions is that it was a very gripping primer, which gives me high hopes. It's kind of like this like minting cooling feeling to it. It kind of went away right away after I put the foundation on. It really blended in right away. My skin looks really flawless, so I have high hopes for this. I will update you guys at the end of the day. I know that normally I would do, like, if you're doing a wear test, you would like check in multiple times a day. But I really just want to keep this video as succinct and short as possible. So I'm planning on just doing the beginning and the end of the day for each one. Each day will get the same amount of wear. Right now it is 8:50. So I usually take my makeup off around 7:38. So you should get at least 12 hours of wear of me with trying this foundation on today and this primer. So I will see you guys later tonight with my check-in and show you what my face looks like without any touch-ups or any changes to my makeup. Okay, so update. It is now 12 hours later. It is actually 8:25, so 11 and a half hours. But this is my face. I'm gonna zoom you in. You can see that there's all of the foundation that was here and on my chin has completely worn off. That does tend to happen to me with foundation. I took a nap, I worked out, I wore a mask. You can see my little slight mask marked here. You can see that I started to collect a lot of oil in my pores and between my eyebrows and on my forehead. I did wipe my nose a little bit so that makeup came off. There's no foundation on my cheeks right now, or very little left, but overall you can see that it lasted, but it started to melt a little bit. Again, this is 12 hours of wear with the primer and also wearing a full coverage 24-hour foundation. This is a pretty typical wear for me anyway. I did work out, I took a nap, I ate food, and went for walks. So there were a lot of factors at play, but you can definitely see the wear and like you can tell where it's worn off, and you can tell that it didn't really hold the oil all that great. This is actually starting to get to the point where, like, if I wipe it, it'll just take all my makeup off. So that is for the e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. Tomorrow I will be trying another viral TikTok primer, so I will catch up with you then. Good morning. So today is day 2 of the viral TikTok primers, and today we're gonna do the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. I only have the mini size of this because this is so hard to get. There's still nowhere for me to find it in a store. So I'm going to be using that today, and I'm going to be using all of the same products that I used yesterday on my face so that there's no changes except for the primer, and that way we can see how the primer truly works. So let's just jump right in. This has similar consistency to the e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. I see it's a little bit runnier than that one and has more of a fruity scent compared to that minty smell from the other one yesterday, but it's still that sticky, but not as sticky. It's still that kind of sticky primer, but I don't feel as sticky of a primer as the Mint Melt one. So again, I'm going to go in with the Lancome foundation I used yesterday. Same amount of product and everything, 2 pumps. And I'm going to apply it with a sponge. I will also be applying the same concealer, which is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Concealer. This will be under the same conditions as yesterday because I will be working out, so it'll kind of have the same wear against the primer as it did yesterday as well. So After applying the cream and wet liquid products, it is looking very similar to yesterday, which is no changes there. I do have some visible pores on my cheek. I used to not have this. This is a newer development, which is great. But right here, I have some visible pores on my cheek, and it looks like everything else seems pretty blurred. It's not sinking into fine lines. I just see a very smooth canvas. So I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup and then I will check in with you before I head out for the rest of my day. Okay, so day 2, exact same makeup, literally product for product is exactly the same. This is my skin. I'm thinking it looks the same as yesterday. I don't see any serious visible differences in terms of how the products laid on my skin. It looks literally identical. So I will just check in with you guys at the end of the day and we'll see if there's any difference in wear compared to the 2 products. Okay, check in for the night. It has literally been 12 hours. It is 8:47. That is what time I finished my makeup this morning. So today, I actually have a slightly different opinion on this one than I did with the other one. I still do have foundation in areas around my mouth where yesterday everything was rubbed off. However, it did sink into my fine lines and I had a couple of marks between here. Again, the same oiliness, but not as much oiliness here, but mostly just in my forehead area between my brows. So there is like a little bit of makeup missing on different elements of my face, but my blush is still there. So overall, it does seem like it lasted a little bit better. Again, it's been 12 hours. I am wearing a 24-hour foundation and the primer is supposed to really help with the longevity. Okay, battle of the primers, day 3, final day, and today is all about the Hard Candy Hydrating Primer 12-Hour Makeup Grip. So all of these are gripping primers. They all should perform relatively the same if they are of the same standard. This I think does retail a little bit more, but I actually think, no, you know what? I think they all retail the same now that I think about it because Elf's products prices have gone up. But this one I'm a little bit more familiar with. This is the one I actually used on my wedding day, so I have a general idea of how it performed. However, I did use a setting spray with it. So today I'm gonna do no setting spray, see how it performs in comparison to the other 2 primers, and we are gonna see how this goes. So first of all, packaging, no pump, but that doesn't really bother me. This is the consistency. Again, very similar to the other 2. This is much more cooling though, and it feels a little bit slimier. It's not as sticky. So as it starts to dry, it starts to get that tackiness. However, the other 2 primers, like when you're applying them, it feels tacky like right from the start. Again, same products, same foundation, same concealer, same everything. I'm gonna do 2 pumps of this. This is the Lancome foundation. Okay, and then the ColourPop Pretty Fresh concealer with hyaluronic acid. So today, I am actually gonna be outside almost all day. But the weather isn't super hot or cold. It's kind of like right in the middle. So that really shouldn't play a factor in how it's going to stay on the face. And then I will be doing a little bit of a gym conditioning session, so cycling later on. So it'll still get the same amount of push against the products as the other 2 did as well. I really love this concealer. Like, it doesn't seem like it'll be that full coverage, but it's so full coverage, and then it like moisturizes. Oh man, it's so good. So after first impression, everything looks good, just like the other 2. It looks just like it's, you know, not sitting on top of my face. It feels like it adhered well. Their pore visibility is minimal. The sinking into the fine lines are minimal, or to no, well, they're not sinking in, but the fine lines are there in the forehead, especially in the mornings for me. But it's looking good, coverage is looking good, and I have no complaints with how it's laying on the face right now. So I'm gonna finish my makeup and then I'll check in with you guys. Okay, so we're back, full face done, same makeup as I said before. And it's looking pretty good. I just realized that I have some fallout from my eyeshadow. I just want to brush that away. But it's looking really good. Seamless porcelain skin, just like the other two. So really no complaints there. Everything looks like it's sitting well on the face. I don't see any concerns yet. So I will check back in with you guys tonight, and then we will do a final overview across all three, and I will tell you which one is truly the best. Hey guys, it's the end of the night. It has actually been more than 12 hours. It has been 14, yeah, it's been 14 hours since I put this makeup on this morning with no touch-ups. So the things I want to say about this one is that over time it did start to sink into my fine lines a bit. So like the two lines between my eyebrows aren't super visible, but there's like a little bit of some creasing starting there. Here I was wrinkling my nose. There's like a little bit right here. I was just watching a movie. However, the wear around my mouth and my like chin area, which always has the makeup wear off first, that is still more there than they have with the other two. The oil control is around the same with the other two as well. So, and then like the blush and the bronzer is kind of melted off my face. But it's still slightly there. But again, this has been a 14-hour wear. I have been outside the majority of the day, wearing a mask the majority of the day, which one thing I can note is even with the mask wear, there's no like mask lines on my nose. Like there was no removal on my nose at all, which is really awesome. But yeah, so I know I told you guys I was going to give you my complete summary and my top, you know, like listing them in order from best to worst tonight, but honestly I'm just extremely tired. It has been a very, very long day, and I just want to go and take off this makeup and shower and clean myself up. So I will jump on here tomorrow, give you my final thoughts. I will list the pros and cons of each one and tell you which one I recommend out of the three if you had to pick one. So I will see you tomorrow. Okay, so it is a few days later, and I really want to give you guys my final thoughts. So on the screen for every different one that I use, every primer, I listed the pros and cons, and I gave it an overall rating. Now, I really quickly want to hop on here and just mention something that I've noticed with two products that I've had experiences with that I haven't had with the other. So with both of these primers, I've had instances where I've put it on underneath my foundation and it actually created such a sticky base that when I went to like apply a different cream product on top, whether it was a blush or a cream bronzer, it actually picked up the product and it didn't stay on the face. I used this before switching to a different primer on my wedding day, and I had so many issues. I had to reapply my makeup 3 times before I just decided to toss this and try a different primer, because it kept creating this issue underneath my eyes where if I was putting on concealer, it was actually picking up the concealer, and I thought that was incredibly weird. And then I had the same instance with this one yesterday where I was using a very lightweight foundation and I was trying to just use a day of like very light makeup, all cream products, and this created that same exact issue. So I really wanted to mention that because I haven't found that with the Hard Candy primer, and I did find that with both of the e.l.f. primers. So I don't know exactly what is happening there, and the ingredient lists aren't listed on the e.l.f. packaging, so I have no idea if it could be an ingredient in here. But even though you have that sticky property with these two, that is a big downfall for me, and it tends to make me not want to use these on a regular basis. I have not had that issue with the Hard Candy primer. This, because it's not as sticky of a base, I find that it just kind of hydrates the skin and it still has that slightly gripping property, but I don't find that it's like making everything adhere to my face so much that if I try to use another product, it's creating issues. That's never happened. I wanted to mention that just so you guys are informed, and I don't know if any of you guys have had that issue. If you have, please let me know, because I don't know if it's just me or if that's like something that's happened to other people. So based off of the ratings, you can probably guess which ones are my favorite, but they did come pretty close in like the scoring, whether by the scoring profile that I created for each one. But I do want to kind of give you an order. So the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer is probably my least favorite out of the three. Specifically for the longevity wasn't necessarily there, and even with it having a decent wear time with my makeup and my foundation, I found that issue where it was picking up the makeup off my skin, that kind of just rules this one out, especially because it's so hyped up for me. This is just, I feel like it's just not the best. So this is my least favorite out of the three. The next one, which is one that I can take it or leave it, I'll probably continue to use it because it's good for like if I'm using more like powder products, but not maybe like cream products. So this would be the e.l.f. Mint Melt. This is my second, specifically for reasons that I'm not absolutely in love with it. It does a good job at the wear of the foundation, but I feel like there's still something lacking here, and I don't really feel motivated to reach for this that frequently because of my experience with this primer so far. But I will probably use this product up for more like long wear makeup, like what I'm wearing today, with its like a foundation base and like using powder on top of it and powder products on top of it instead of cream products. With that being said, this is rated number 2. It's not horrible, I'm just saying it's not my favorite. My top one is one that I will definitely continue to repurchase, and that is the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Hydrating Primer. The longevity of the foundation works really well with this. The way that the foundation applies is beautiful. I've never had any issues with sticky patches or things not, going on smoothly on top of it, and it does have a really good consistency. It just overall is my top, and I highly recommend this one. So this is definitely the most, out of the 3 viral primers, I would say that this is the most worth the hype, and I would recommend this 110%. So I hope that this entire video was very helpful. I know that there's so much like hype and viral products going on right now with TikTok, and I feel like sometimes there's a lot of misinformation, or there's not a lot of information all in one space because those videos are so short. So I know this video was a little bit longer, but I really wanted to try these out fully and give you full wear tests for each one so you can make that determination of what is worth your money and what is not. If you liked this video, please give this video a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, feel free to subscribe down below. I would love for you to join my family. If not, thanks for tuning in for this video, and let me know if this video helped you make a decision. And I'm gonna go do the rest of my day. I have more videos like this coming towards you, so if you liked this video, comment down below. What else do you want to see? What other viral products do you really want me to test and share with you guys? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you all so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye guys!